They just bar mitzvahed the Sixers and almost beat them by 40. That is
What does bar mitzvah
insane.
mean?
Can you please use English?
What does bar mitzvah mean? Welcome to 5280 Real Talk. I'm Gavin Foonberg.
I'm Avi Cohn.
And I'm Milan Schneegel.
Once again, we got some very interesting topics to talk about, so let's get right into it.
This episode's trivia question is, who leads the MLB in lowest ERA in a season? Your options are Cy Young, Bob Gibson, Christy Mathewson, and Tim Keefe. Stay tuned to the end of the episode to see if you get it right.
This Wednesday, we got the Phoenix Suns versus the LA Clippers. Should be a very, very interesting game. Who do you have?
I have the Clippers in this one. The Clippers are so hot right now. Hottest team in the NBA. Arguably, the Knicks and Wizards are also kind of hot, but I think they've won 17 out of 20, I believe. They, in my opinion, are the best team right now. I think this is finally a dangerous team, the most dangerous they've ever been in the history of their organization, and I think they're going to win this game.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the Clippers are taking this one. I think this is an interesting Clippers team because they lost Montrezl Harrell, and they're still a very deep team. They're obviously still like one of the best, if not the best, defensive team in the league. And like you said, I think they're hot, and I think they're going to beat the Suns.
Yeah, I think the addition of Rajon Rondo has really, helped them, and it's made them have to make their playoff push right now because he's going to be a big part, like he was in LA, and like he was on So it's a clean sweep. I got the Clippers winning this one as well.
Yeah, and they're also pushing to get to the 1 seed after this insanely hot streak that they're having.
Yeah, they are.
They're almost up there. They are.
I think they would like to play like Memphis also in the first round.
Yeah, they're tied with the Suns, and they're only 2 games back of the Jazz. So, and the Jazz are missing Donovan Mitchell, so they can definitely make that push for the 1 seed and end up not playing the Mavericks or the Lakers.
Yeah,
that's definitely what they want.
All right, now on to our MLB series of the week: Dodgers Brewers. Gavin, who you got?
I got the Dodgers. We talked about them earlier in the year about them being just, one of the best teams in a long time, and won the World Series last year. Could win it again this year. Go back to back for the first time in like 20 years.
Yeah.
So I got the Dodgers.
Yeah, you are.
I actually have the Brewers in this one, in a 2-1 series. I agree, it's a pretty bold pick, but
It's not that bold. Brewers are like 13-8.
Yeah, they're a good team.
Lead their
I
division.
think picking anyone to beat the Dodgers is a pretty bold pick.
Yeah.
True.
But I think
Plus
the Dodgers.
it's an entire series.
Yeah.
So
I think the Dodgers are going to lose very few series this year, but I think it's going to be one of them because the Brewers are pretty hot right now. They have Christian Yelich, who's one of the best players in baseball.
Yeah.
So I would definitely not be surprised if the Dodgers won, but I think that the Brewers can take this one because they're just a really talented team.
I disagree. I'm gonna take the Dodgers. Although I think it's gonna be 2-1. I think it's gonna be a very close series. I think the Brewers have Corbin Burns, who is second in ERA right now. But I think that the Dodgers, it's just too hard for me to pick against them.
I have a question for you guys. Is there any series this year that you guys would pick the Dodgers to lose?
That I would pick them to lose.
it just depends on how the next couple of weeks turn out. Like
Yeah, it honestly depends.
I'm just saying. Okay, sorry. I'll rephrase
On paper.
this. At this time, is there any team that they could face against where you would pick against them? Any team?
Maybe the Athletics.
I would say
They
if
did sweep the Athletics earlier.
I know, but the Athletics have been playing good recently.
Yeah.
So
I would say the Padres. I think they're probably the only team I would say. I would say the Mets, but I don't
the Red
think...
Sox could too.
No, I don't think the Red Sox. But I would say the Mets.
If they had
They're definitely going to
pitching
lose
out.
a couple series, probably.
Yeah, but
So-
I'm just saying, would you guys pick them?
The only reason I wouldn't say the Mets, I think their pitching is phenomenal, but I don't think their hitting is strong enough.
Actually, there's one team
Yeah,
that
I
I
agree, they're
think I think there's one team that has the best chance, and I think it's San Francisco. Not necessarily because they're an incredible team, but they're in the same division.
But so
And
are the
they're-
Padres.
I know, but I think but San Francisco has a better record at
Yeah,
this
but
moment.
the Padres are definitely the better team.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then I think it's going to be either San Francisco or the Padres because they're in the same division, and I think that's.
But I'm
really
I'm not
important
asking
division.
what teams have a chance to beat the Dodgers. I'm saying if we just had a different game of the week that still involved the Dodgers, but it was any other team, would there be any team that you would pick the Dodgers to lose?
I would say San Diego.
San Diego?
Yeah, either San Diego or San Francisco.
Just because of all the Dodgers games like that I've followed and seen the scores in their games so far, of their 21 games, like I've always seen them San Diego. It's always a competitive game. I think if I'm correct,
Tatis's energy against
Yeah.
Bauer. You saw him peak at the sign for
yeah,
a second and hit a home run the next pitch.
yeah.
That was a pretty controversial play, but I don't know. I think that it's hard to pick the Dodgers against anyone, but I think you have to do it a couple times. And I think this is a series they could definitely lose against the Brewers.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. For my bold take this episode, still with baseball, I think that Jacob DeGrom's pitching season of this year will go down as the best pitching season ever.
Okay, first of all, that is like one of the dumbest things I've heard because it's not based off of factual evidence or anything.
What?
Like, it's not factual. Having the best season is all opinionated. There's no
But I think
there's no
I think for pitching,
facts behind it.
I think
It's opinionated. I'm sure maybe in people's minds, I mean, first of all, there's so many games to go, but if he continues like this, then in some people's minds it could be like, wow, he did just have one of the best years ever. But for that to become the popular opinion is very unlikely in my opinion.
I think it is pretty likely. I think Jacob DeGrom, he's increased.
Do you realize how many things have to go his way though?
What do you mean by it?
He has to continue to play at this level for the rest of this consistency for the rest of the year, and he has to have the general opinion on his side.
Yes, and currently I think he does have
Yeah.
the general opinion on
I
his
agree.
side.
Yeah,
and
as the best pitcher in the
why?
league right now.
And there's
right
no
now.
reason for me to believe that he's going to go down.
Yeah.
Because he's not he's striking out almost everyone, and this is not a matter of people are getting hard hits against him and they're getting caught. He's dominating
Yeah.
the other team.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's bad. I'm saying that there's definitely.
I know you're
chance-
not saying he's-
I'm saying that he definitely could. This definitely
but I think
could be recognized as one of the better seasons of all time. But I don't think it's gonna be said like if you were to ask someone who had the best pitching season, I don't think most people would say this.
I think one.
Every person would give a different person.
I think he has the general opinion on his side. I think, like you said, there's really no reason right now that I could see him going down. And I think that this is a pretty statistical take because, I mean, there are countless
Yeah, you're not
pitching
saying,
stats that you can look to.
Yeah, you're saying just statistically the best season, which
Yeah.
is factoring ERA.
Oh, I thought you were just saying to the popular opinion though.
Yeah, but how does
That involves stats.
How does
so-
the popular opinion view the best pitcher?
Well,
exactly.
with a bunch of different things.
But what?
Statistical, whether they are winning games or not, whether they are.
Yeah, and
Everything.
Jacob DeGrom is winning games.
Yeah, he is.
He is.
I know, but there's so much time to go.
I agree, but again, there's no reason that I can see that Jacob DeGrom is going to tone it down other than injuries, which that again you could say that about any.
I know, but that's why I'm saying for this take to happen, a lot of things have to go.
And
his
they do,
way.
but I think they will go his way
Yeah.
because he is just pitching at a ridiculous level. He looks unstoppable out there.
And I also think, like you said, he has just so many options with his pitches. He's upped his fastball at least 2 or 3 miles per hour.
And the spin rate is a lot
Yeah.
more.
Throws a 92-mile-an-hour
slider. Which, I mean, when you have those options to throw, I mean, it just keeps hitters guessing. Because usually when you're, going against a pitcher, you can kind of see 2 strikes. If it's an 0-2, they might throw a curveball, some off-speed pitch. But with DeGrom, he's unpredictable.
Yeah, he's unpredictable, and he's just. I think he's one of the best pitchers of all time. Not yet, but I think he will be soon.
He's certainly he has back-to-back Cy Youngs 2 years
Yeah.
ago, and then he finished 3rd last year.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah,
He's
good.
ridiculous.
Well, for my bold take, I got the Wizards making the Eastern Conference Finals.
No way.
Let me explain why.
No, don't.
Let me explain why. I think that there's 4 teams in the East, 3 teams in the East that are actually in a lot of people's
And
minds
there
good.
are 9 teams
Brooklyn?
in the East that are better than the Wizards.
No, completely disagree. Brooklyn,
Brooklyn.
Philadelphia, Milwaukee.
What about the Knicks? What about the Celtics?
The Knicks
what
are
about the Heat?
Knicks, Elon. The Hawks don't have Trae Young.
didn't say the Hawks.
The Celtics have been absolutely awful this year. They've been they've underachieved like crazy this year. Is that
I-
fair to say?
yeah,
Is
I
that fair to
agree.
say? They
Okay.
have completely
Underachieved.
underachieved. They have no leadership
And
on
you're
their
telling
team.
me
Zero leadership.
You're telling me the Wizards are
and no
achieving
depth
right now.
and no depth.
You're telling me the Wizards are achieving at 26
Yeah.
and 33.
Yeah, they are.
That's
they've
achieving.
won. They've won what 7 out of their last 9.
I don't know.
Okay, but for the season as a whole, I mean, I understand
Or
Westbrook
they've
was
won.
injured,
No, they've
but
won
still.
9 out of their last 10.
that doesn't make them good enough to
Yeah.
beat the Nets, the Sixers, the Bucks, the Celtics.
Their
the
starting
Heat.
shooting guard is Raul Nieto.
I think if they can get to the
They can
8th
what?
spot, if they can get to the 8th spot before the playoffs,
So they can lose to the Nets in 4 games.
no get to the 8th spot so that in the playing game they can get to the 7th spot. Or how does it
Okay,
work?
so they can lose to the Sixers in 4 games.
No, I don't think this. None of those teams have shown that they can win in the playoffs before.
And the Wizards have.
No, but
If they win,
that's what I'm saying. There's it's like almost like a coin toss between the East.
How is it a coin
Because
toss?
the Bucks have never done anything.
They've made it to the Eastern Conference
Yeah.
Finals. It's a little better than the Wizards
Not
have
really.
done.
Okay, but
What?
None of those teams have made.
that is factually better than what the Wizards have
Oh,
done.
I know the Wizards have done better, but it's a completely new team.
No, not the what?
The Wizards they're winning a bunch of games right now. They've shown and they
the
have
Bucks
two
the
all
Bucks are
stars.
losing a bunch of
They have
games
two
right now,
All-Stars
right,
on that
Avi?
team.
And so are the Nets.
And they have two. Okay, last year those
Wait,
teams.
wait, did you
last
say
year those teams let Miami make the championship.
Yeah, the 4-seeded
they
Miami.
can't make the championship. Philadelphia has never been able to do
Yeah, I'm
anything.
sure a team with James Harden.
Also, Joel
Kevin
Embiid
Durant,
is a top
who
2
knows if they're
MVP
healthy?
candidate.
KD's hurt every single day.
They're just
Okay, but-
resting.
with
no,
this-
he's not. He actually hurt his leg.
But with the
He's fine,
Yeah,
as
he
you would
probably
say.
is fine.
But with the Sixers, Joel Embiid is literally a top 2 MVP candidate.
You have Giannis.
Yeah.
Great.
How is he going to get past?
And the Sixers have added
Basketball's a
so
team
much
sport.
I understand they've added so much
They're
depth.
good 8 teams, but anything can happen. And I think
You
that
can
the
say that
Wizards-
about anything. You
You
can.
yeah. Did you know that the Pelicans are going to sneak into the 8th seed? They're going to sweep the Jazz.
You're
then they're
literally
going to
the biggest idiot.
How?
I could actually see that happening.
Oh my god.
Bro.
Just kidding. If Donovan Mitchell's hurt, I could see that happening.
So you could see the Pelicans.
I could see the Jazz
going
losing in the
on
first round.
Okay, you could see the Jazz winning in the first round.
And the Pelicans sweeping the Jazz.
Pelicans are even.
Not sweeping, but they can beat the Jazz.
The
if
Pelicans-
if they somehow get there.
They're not. They're 4 games
Okay,
back of
but-
the Warriors.
Okay, but Memphis, if they're the 8th seed, I think they could totally beat the Jazz.
Okay, but
Without
I
Donovan
agree.
Mitchell.
I agree.
100%.
yeah, but they can't.
Do you
beat the
disagree
Blazers,
with that?
Right? They can't beat the Blazers, right? And yes,
Who
who
can't beat the Blazers?
the
Grizzlies.
Grizzlies.
They're not beating the Blazers.
Okay,
I
either
don't
way.
know. I stand by that.
I don't think so.
And either way,
Eunice Valanciunas.
and no, I don't agree with that. I don't think that the Jazz would beat the Jazz with or the Grizzlies would beat. Did I say the Jazz would beat the Jazz?
Stop
the Grizzlies
talking.
would beat
Stop
the Jazz.
talking.
I don't think the Grizzlies would beat the Jazz, even if they didn't have Donovan Mitchell.
Okay, good to know. What's your take?
My bold take is that the Athletics will finish with the best record in the AL.
I completely.
Very bold.
Yeah, I completely
Very
agree. This is
bold.
not a bold take.
How
at
is that
all.
not a bold
Look
take?
at the
They're
AL.
really winning their league.
AL compared to the
division.
NL is so weak. It's so weak.
Yeah, the thing is, there's still a lot of good teams in the AL. The Red Sox. I know the Yankees aren't great right now, but the
The
Yankees.
Orioles.
The
The
Orioles.
Detroit Tigers, ladies and gentlemen, 7-15.
The Mariners, the Astros,
What about
the
the
Royals.
Twins?
The Astros. You
Yes.
did not just say the Astros.
What?
What?
Oh my god. The
Astros aren't even playing 500.
the only team.
Yeah, but there's a lot of teams that aren't starting out well this year. What?
Great.
Literally the winners, the leading of the divisions right now are the A's, the Red Sox, who I think the Red Sox are
They're not
good,
sit still.
but they have not proven anything to me yet.
Who?
And the Kansas City Royals, the Kansas City
Yeah,
Royals.
but I don't think those are the best teams necessarily. And I mean, you guys are agreeing with me. You guys just don't think it's bold. And I think predicting any team this early, other than the Dodgers, is bold to say that they're gonna win their division or their league, not their division, their league.
I think the only team that, and this is kind of ironic because they're in the A's division, I think the only team that has a chance is the Angels. Angels are good.
The
but-
Angels, they're 500 right now. Are we talking about the same Angels? Did they add a new expansion team called the Angels?
No, we're talking about the same Angels.
And you think the
They
Angels?
have
Have a chance. They're the only team
Otani.
that They're the only team right now that I could see spoiling this bold take.
You don't see the Red Sox.
Not yet.
You don't see the Rays. You don't see the White Sox.
The White Sox.
The White Sox are a great team.
Okay, I think the White Sox will win their division, but still, I think the A's will be better.
But you think the Angels will contest them? The Angels.
The Angels.
The one-man team Angels.
They're not a one-man team. Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, Anthony
Shohei
Rendon.
Ohtani is the most overrated player in the entire freaking
Has he gone
MLB.
on base yet or just hit home runs?
Seriously. It's literally home run or strikeout.
I think he's hit like 3 home runs this year.
No, he just hit one the other night. But
So like 4. He's hit
Like-
4 home runs and like 15 strikeouts.
the Angels have no chance of...
He's actually second on the team in hits, so
Really?
behind David Fletcher, and he's tied with Mike Trout.
What is he
How many
hitting?
hits does he have?
22.
But what is he hitting from the plate?
Average, you mean?
Yeah.
He is third on the team, and he's batting 286.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's actually not
low-key
bad.
Yeah, it's
Kinda
not
good.
good. It's not bad. Ohtani.
Ohtani! Either way.
Ohtani.
Either way, the Angels aren't gonna... No one's talking about the Angels. The Angels are trash.
I'm talking about the Angels.
Yeah, because you have a Mike Trout. You like Mike Trout so much, so you think somehow Mike Trout... Maybe if they can
we
have...
just talked about how Shohei
If
Ohtani
they can have
is
Mike...
actually
Avi,
like, getting on
maybe
base.
the Angels will make it if they can have Mike Trout hit every time.
That would be
hey,
overpowered.
if they input the rule that like you take your DH out, then he gets to hit more.
Yeah.
That one get a hit a little bit more.
If they can have Mike Trout at every spot, maybe
And then they move
can
the and
contest.
then they midway through the year they move the pitcher a foot back, and then Mike Trout could just hit absolute dingers.
He already is. He's batting just under 400.
Oh my god, he's literally insane.
And I would like to point out Shohei Ohtani is leading the team in home runs and RBIs.
Ohtani.
Okay, so that's a two-man... Sorry, I meant a two-man team.
And
Oh yes, he acknowledges
Albert
Ohtani.
Pujols
What- yeah,
is
what
on
about
his team.
Pujols?
Albert Pujols is like
Yeah,
47
what?
years
He's
old.
still
How old
insane.
is he actually though?
Uh,
Gotta be at least 39.
Albert Pujols,
No, he's probably like
37.
he's
37.
41.
Oh my god.
What is he doing in the league still?
Seriously,
Dude, I don't
bro.
know.
It's time for him to
Retire.
start playing some golf.
Retire. You're on like
Facts.
retire. You're literally on like the Clippers of the MLB at 41 years old.
Alright, so yeah, the Athletics are winning the AL.
Yeah, I agree.
Nope, it's the Angels. Carried by Mike Trout.
We agreed with you, Elon.
I said
you
the
were
Angels
trying
are
to-
the only team that can contest, but I think the A's are still going to win.
You really think the Angels are the only team that can contest?
Right now,
Okay.
yes.
What do you mean right now? The Red Sox are 14-9. Why can't they contest?
Because
We're
I
playing
have
.609 ball.
what?
What does that even mean?
That's how much. That's the percentage they're winning.
Wow, that's a fact that I'm sure everyone out there was looking for.
Why would they not? Be?
That was
All right. What are your power rankings
My power rankings?
for the NBA? And right now, not the record. Right now.
Yes. Clippers, Nets, Knicks. That's my power rankings.
I
All right,
agree
what
with
do
the
you have?
Clippers.
What do you have? What do you have?
Okay, I have the Bucks, the Mavericks, and the Clippers at 3.
All right. So we can all agree that the Clippers are a
Are
top
on-
3 team.
yes,
Okay.
100%.
I have the Clippers at 1.
Okay.
117 of the last 20. And then I got the Knicks. The 1-9 straight. You have the Knicks. But
Wait,
yours is
I have a
one.
question for you.
Wait. And then one more. I have the Wizards.
Okay.
I'm high on the Wizards.
I have a
right
question
now.
for you,
yes,
Elon.
ask me the question.
Why do you have the Nets second? Like, I feel like you just have them because they're the Nets.
Yeah.
Because they just beat the Suns and the Celtics.
And lost
The
to
Celtics have
Raptors.
been underachieving this whole year.
And then they
Celtics.
lost to the Raptors.
Mister, I put the Celtics third in my power rankings and picked them to go to the
It was
Eastern
right
Conference.
now.
yeah, it was
At the
right
moment.
then.
Yeah.
And at the moment, they
That's
won
what we're
8
saying.
straight.
We're not disagreeing that
Exactly, and they snapped that.
We're not
8-game winning
disagreeing
streak.
that the Nets are a top 3 team. But
Yes.
right now?
Yes, I believe right now they are a top 3
I
team.
disagree.
Mister, I have the Wizards in my top 3.
They
They're
won 9
on
of their
right now.
last 10.
Right now,
Right now, they are a top 3 team.
no, they're not a top
They're
3.
not. Absolutely not a top 3 team.
In my opinion,
that is disgraceful.
Okay, ready? They've won 7 straight. They've won 9 of their last 10.
Okay.
And Russell Westbrook, this is an unpopular opinion, but he is actually playing the best basketball of his
That
career.
is very debatable, but I don't
No,
care.
it's not statistically.
If Russell
it's 100%
Westbrook-
playing the best basketball. He's averaging more points, more assists, more rebounds, and a higher field goal percentage than
Even
he's
if
ever
he,
played.
He's
even if
played
he is,
less.
even if he
Okay,
is,
so he's played a little bit less, but he's still. Yeah, but we're talking about right now. Right
Even-
now, he's averaging better numbers than he's ever had.
Let's take a look at their winning streak. Their very impressive winning streak. They've beat the Thunder.
Impressive.
They beat the Warriors.
They
I'll give-
beat Pokashevsky.
Warriors, I'll give you that
That's a
one.
big one.
The Thunder again. The Pistons. The Pelicans.
Imagine having
and
to
the
beat the Thunder
Kings.
twice. That's not even fair. Okay, now keep going.
And the Jazz.
The
The
Pistons.
Jazz
The Pistons, Pelicans, Kings, and Jazz. They
and
beat-
Warriors.
Yeah.
Like twice.
They've won.
They've beat two good teams. And the Warriors are very debatably. They're 500.
No, they're a tough team to play against, Elon.
They're
They're a tough
They're
team to play
500.
against. They're a tough... Right now,
They have
Elon,
beat.
they are a tough
They have
team
beat
to play against.
one team over 500 in this winning streak. One team.
Great, that's because the NBA sucks. Now look at the other team's winning streaks.
Who?
Go. I don't know. Just go to another team's winning streaks.
What about?
Like the Knicks. Let's look at the Knicks.
The
Yeah,
next
let's
winning
look at the
streak
Knicks.
is at least more impressive than that one.
It's just impressive to win that many games in a row anyways.
Yes, but I'm just saying they've had the literal easiest possible schedule.
They're hot. That's not true. They played against the Warriors twice and the Jazz. They could have played against
And they
Minnesota.
played against the
or they
Thunder
could have
twice.
played
They played against the Thunder
They
twice,
could have
the
played the
Pistons,
Thunder
and the
4
Pelicans.
times. That would have been easier.
Okay, yeah, that's not happening.
That's
'Cause
not how
one-
it works because they're in different conferences.
Yeah.
You see.
Exactly. I'm just saying they haven't played sufficient teams to say that. I mean, at least the Knicks have beat the Raptors, the Hornets, the Hawks, the Lakers, the Grizzlies, who are not in Mavericks, who are
The
not
Lakers. Andre Drummond. He's
Okay,
a beast.
I don't care. They
Who else?
beat-
Wait, say it again.
they beat
wow,
more-
Raptors. Wow.
they
Hawks
beat-
without Trae Young in overtime.
Trae Young was playing for most of that game. They
Whatever.
beat the Mavericks.
Hornets.
The Hornets are solid. It's more impressive than the
Yeah.
And plus you have them second. Why are you arguing with the Knicks?
Because you have the Knicks above, or because you don't, because you have the Knicks at your not at your second spot. You have the Nets. We could both agree. I don't know why you have your Nets right now.
Yeah.
I think the Nets are good right now.
Right. I think they're good
They're
overall,
a good
but right
team.
now,
Right now, their second best player is Landry Shamet. Like actually,
He's
I'm not
good.
even saying that as a joke.
he is though.
But the Nets have just been playing well. I know they lost to the Raptors.
But they haven't. The Nets just haven't like wowed me lately.
Yeah,
But
they
the-
lost to the Raptors recently, Elon. They
And-
lost to like the guy who spins around in circles a bunch.
Spin cycle.
Okay, but you have the Bucks first.
Okay,
Explain.
I have the Bucks first because I think the Bucks this year and right now
lost the
No,
No,
I agree. The
they're
Bucks-
flying under the
Bucks
radar.
are a really good team, and they're under the radar.
They're flying
I made
under
a
the
TikTok
radar.
about this.
They beat the Sixers twice
I
in
made
a
a
row.
TikTok about
Yeah.
how they're not talked about this year, and that's why they're a scary team.
They also just blew
But
out the Sixers.
the Mavericks.
Okay,
The Mavericks.
the Mavericks are
What are
good
you-
right now.
I agree with the Mavericks more than I agree with the Bucks. The Bucks freaking lost to the Grizzlies.
and they just beat the Sixers
I thought the
by
Grizzlies were
almost
incredible.
40.
I'm just saying, like, they're not as good as the
They
Clippers.
have Desmond Bain.
He has
the Grizzlies have Desmond Bain. How is
Dude,
that's
Desmond,
that's not a bad loss for the Bucks. They lost to
I'm-
Desmond Bain.
he is the best player
Okay,
in the
either
NBA.
way,
Desmond Bain.
Can you shut up?
Desmond.
Desmond
Bain.
Bain.
Avi, you have the Bucks ahead of the Clippers. Tell me in what earth the Bucks who have won like the Bucks who are 5-5 in their last 10 are better than the Clippers who have won 17 out of their last 20.
They just bar mitzvahed the Sixers and almost beat them by 40. That is
What does bar mitzvah
insane.
mean?
Can you please use English?
What does bar mitzvah mean?
It means that they
Bar
blew
mitzvah?
them out.
That
They
was-
took them to school. Guys, oh my.
But I don't care if they just beat the Sixers by 500 points. They still are 5-5 in their last 10. And they lost to the Hornets and the Mavericks and the Warriors and the Grizzlies. And
Yeah, but they bar mitzvahed.
They,
the bar mitzvah.
I've literally never heard that in my entire
I just made it up.
They,
and it was the dumbest thing you've ever said.
the bar mitzvah.
Oh my gosh.
All right,
At
guys.
least say bot mitzvahed.
So even if the Bucks were 1-9 in their last 10, but that one win was a bar mitzvah over the
The
Sixers.
Sixers.
Okay, stop.
Guys are making such a huge deal.
How are they ahead of the Clippers? That makes no sense.
You could have said literally anything else. They blew them out.
They
They
destroyed
handled them. They destroyed them.
I just
They
came up.
cooked them.
I came up with it on the spot.
Let's go for more slang here. They. Never
They
mind.
took them to school.
Yeah.
But instead they bar mitzvahed.
They baptized them.
Ooh, another
Could do
one.
more religious slang.
All right,
They're-
go back to your point on how on earth they're better than the Clippers at this moment.
At this moment, if the Bucks and the Clippers played a game, I
The
think the
Clippers
Bucks
would win.
I think the Bucks would beat them by 10.
What?
I think the Bucks would win by 10. If they played a game
Why?
against each other right
You notice
now.
that Paul George is playing absolutely incredible right now,
So is Giannis.
and so is Kawhi, and so is
I
the
think
Clippers. The Clippers are 17 out of their last 20. Have won 17 out of their last 20.
And just because
That's
they beat the
insane.
Sixers twice, they're better.
I just still think the Bucks are a better team right now and throughout the season.
What do the Clippers have to do to prove to you that they're a better team than the Bucks? Because they can't do much more.
I just
They could have won 20 out of their last 20.
they could have bar mitzvahed a team.
They could have.
They're literally going off right now, but somehow the Bucks are ahead of them.
They are.
Oh, and also
the Mavericks are.
the
too.
Mavericks are also ahead of them, which makes no sense.
I don't understand it, Mom. Why do you think that the Wizards are not a top 3 team?
I mean, he also doesn't think, but
Why do you guys not think that they're a top 3 team right now?
because they just haven't.
Right now.
Because
Right
they
now.
haven't proved enough. Because they played like horrible
Yeah,
teams
the
on this.
teams that they've played have been.
Maybe they can beat a team over 500, and I'll think they're legit.
Let's see their next game.
They're
Cavs.
playing the Cavs right now.
That's impressive. Yeah, and they're
They can beat
they're
Sexland.
beating them. They're beating them by 3.
That's really impressive, Gavin.
That's
Okay.
You know what? My bad. Let me change my
Okay.
power rankings. Wizards are first because they're beating
And the Cavs
by
are
3.
second.
Okay, where's the Wizards?
Why are you looking at their upcoming games? That doesn't matter
Because
to
they're
me.
gonna win them, and then that'll.
Okay, if they do win them, maybe they'll be on my next week.
They play
power
against
rankings.
Los Angeles and Andre Drummond. Oh, they have a really easy schedule.
Seriously?
Let's see. Oh, they play Los Angeles. What?
They probably just play them one. It's not
Oh,
switching.
I'm
Can you press
so
them?
confused.
When do they play the best team in the league right now? The Milwaukee Bucks. You know what's gonna happen to the Wizards when they play the Bucks?
They're
They're
gonna
gonna
get
get
burned.
absolutely bar mitzvah.
They play against San Antonio.
Wow,
Los
that's a
Angeles,
tough
Okay,
schedule.
if they beat Dallas, will you agree with me? If they win all these games and
If they win
Dallas,
all of those
and
games,
Milwaukee.
if they win all of those games, I will put them maybe third.
Hey, mark your calendars.
Okay,
May
no,
5th.
I'll put them second.
Milwaukee versus the Wizards.
Yeah, we're coming back to that one, Elon. When Russell Westbrook
That's game of the week.
absolutely destroys the Bar Mitzvah team.
The Wizard or the Bucks, who are apparently the best team in the league right now. No doubt. You're right. They're the best team in the league right now.
Elon, you're the one who put the Nets second.
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me.
You're shaming me for putting the current best team in the East second.
That's even dumber than the Bucks.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Really?
100%.
How is that dumber?
Obviously, they have the best record in the East because they're literally a super team. But right
Why
now,
do you have the Mavericks? I
because
still
the
don't
Mavericks
understand.
are just they're it right
Hey,
now.
I do have a Doncic jersey right now. I'm hoping that the Mavericks can take over the Lakers spot so the Nuggets don't have to play them. That would be amazing. So hopefully the Mavericks do stay
Anthony
hot.
Davis got so mad yesterday when he got taken out of the game for minute restrictions. He started like kicking the wall.
That was like the first time they played the Mavericks, but yeah.
All right.
That didn't really count.
The Mavericks are like actually pretty good right now, but
Yeah.
they're not. I don't know if they're second. I mean, they did lose to the Kings. Like
They beat the Lakers with 15 minutes.
no, never
left
mind.
in
They're not
Davis.
good. They beat the Lakers and the Pistons. Wow,
Still
the
think-
Lakers and the
And then
Pistons.
they lost
Avi.
to the Kings
Oh,
and the Knicks.
everyone loses.
Why are the Knicks not ahead of the Mavericks if the Knicks beat them?
Because the
Why?
Mavericks
Why?
schedule, in my opinion, is just better than the Knicks.
Yeah,
right
there's
now.
the Mavericks schedule is incredible. They've played the Lakers, the Pistons, the Kings.
The Lakers
wow, that
twice.
is
The Lakers twice.
that is some elite competition right there, guys.
The Knicks. Well, they did play Desmond Bain.
They did, and they beat Desmond
Okay,
Bain.
great.
That's a
and then the
huge
good
win.
teams they've played against, they've lost. They lost against the.
Oh no! Wait, they beat the
beat
best
the
team.
Bucks.
They beat the best team in the league, the Bucks.
They did.
They
beat
lost to the Rockets. They lost to the Rockets.
That's like
They
11
lost-
games ago. That is so
they lost
far
to
back.
a G Leaguer. They lost to an actual. Yeah, exactly. But they have had no consistency to show that they are a top 3 team in the league right now. Why? Because they beat the Lakers twice with
And the-
15-minute.
Wait, Gavin. They beat the Pistons too.
I don't think the Pistons is a good win. I think the Lakers are undoubtedly way worse without LeBron and AD.
Oh really?
But-
no, I think they're better with
but
LeBron and AD.
I
That's
think
so bad.
that
They're bad without. They're horrible without them. They aren't a playoff team without them.
And
I disagree.
They're not.
maybe in the playing games they are. I don't know. Either way,
Okay.
you're wrong.
They're not an impressive win at all.
I don't think they're like, oh my god, we just beat the Brooklyn Nets.
How are they a top 3 team? The
I-
Nets should be above them.
Yes, they should.
Yes, they should.
Why shouldn't they
Why
be?
shouldn't they?
Because the Mavericks right now,
Right now,
okay,
they're on a 3-game winning streak, beating some incredible competition.
Nets are on a 2-game winning streak. Who did the Nets just play? Let's see.
Oh, the Suns. Try to tell me that's not a good win.
The Suns, right? Okay.
Try to tell me that's not a good win, Avi.
Detroit's better.
It's a regular season win.
Detroit is a much better win.
And the Celtics. The Celtics right now, I know a couple weeks ago when they were hot, I had the Celtics, going pretty far, but right now they're just not hot anymore. So, not the greatest win for the Nets in my opinion.
I'm just saying, the Celtics lost one game in that since before the Nets game. They lost one game, and it was a 6-point loss, and then they beat one of the best teams in the league, the Suns. So you're telling me you had them third, but they lost one game and then beat one of the best teams in the league, and all of a sudden they're horrible. They're horrible.
All right, I'm gonna have the last word here. Yes. So now for the answer to our trivia question. Once again, the question was who has the lowest ERA in a season. Our options were Cy Young, Bob Gibson, Christy Mathewson, and Tim Keefe. And the answer was Tim Keefe.
Yes, Tim.
Tim!
My
And
boy Tim.
if you got it right, congrats. If you didn't, stay tuned to the next episode to get it right.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of 5280 Real Talk. Don't forget to subscribe, follow our Instagram, and our TikTok at 5280 Real Talk. Thank you.
And also don't forget that Avi picked the Mavericks.
Yes! Once again, last word. Yes, the
All right.
Mavericks are the second best team in the league.
Thanks for listening.